Hello, everybody. So today's session is about disengaging from rumination. So how do we decouple, or what they say, decenter, to disengage from thinking? Rumination is thinking a lot, going around in circles in our mind, but actually going nowhere, no solution in sight. Um, one way we know we are ruminating when we keep thinking about the same thing, but there isn't like a resolution to it. And so the invitation here is to how do we disengage from it? And because rumination leads us down the path of stress, maybe feeling unhappy, feeling worried about the future, or even worried about the past, or even feeling guilty or restless. So that's the reason why in mindfulness we cultivate this ability or this practice of disengaging from all that thinking, and the mental chatter. And so, like all practices, the invitation is you can sit on the chair or on the floor, on your mat or cushion if you wish. Or midway, you can choose to stand up as well or open your eyes, looking out the window. And so the option is also to keep your eyes open or just leave them closed. And so let's start this practice. So settling into a comfortable but engaged posture. Allowing the mind to just be in the present moment. If you find your mind wandering to the future or thinking about the past, very gently reminding yourself to just come back to the present moment. As best as you can, bringing a sense of curiosity to what is happening or arising in this present moment for you, for us. Starting with connecting with the breath. Feeling the body as it breathes, feeling the physical sensations in the body as you're inhaling and exhaling. So, whenever the mind wanders, or something that may be calling for your attention, maybe a feeling of emotion or a sensation in the body, simply acknowledging what has arisen, and then very gently bringing the mind back to the practice of inhaling and exhaling. Sometimes it's just mundane thoughts that just take up mental space. So we're just letting that be and returning our attention to the breath. And from the breath dropping down further, noticing the feet or feeling the feet on the floor, or if you're sitting cross-legged, sensing where you've placed your feet. Does it feel comfortable? Noticing the hands, the fingers, where you've placed your palms. And then dropping down, feeling the body, feeling the weight of the body, sitting on the chair or on your mat. Feeling the contact point of the body, the buttocks on the chair or mat. And bringing a sense of curiosity, beginner's mind, noticing the being that is seated on the chair or on the mat. Feeling the body that is sitting. Being aware that you're feeling the body as it sits on the chair or mat. And if you're noticing the mind is starting to wander, simply just acknowledging that the mind has wandered kindly and bringing the attention back to the body, being aware that you are aware of the body. And feeling the physical sensations of breathing as you take an in breath, noticing the pause and then releasing at the out breath. Noticing how the transition takes place from an in breath, pause, the out breath. As best as you can, bringing a sense of the whole being to embracing and hugging that experience of breathing. And during this practice, if you feel the need to move or to open your eyes, then just simply acknowledging that desire to do so and just very gently shifting the posture or opening the eyes. Recognizing that you have a choice on how to respond or not respond to that feeling of needing to open your eyes or moving. So, completely embracing that experience of breathing, something we tend to take for granted every day, every moment. As you're breathing with a beginner's mind, as if it's the first time you're breathing, first time you're discovering what it means to breathe. So you're noticing the mind, some chattering going on. thinking, judging, describing, analyzing. Just very gently bringing the mind back to the breath. Just completely staying with the experience of just breathing in, breathing out. And now, as you hold the breath in awareness, the breathing practice in awareness, expanding the attention to sounds around you. Just hearing sounds, sounds outside your room or maybe inside the room. So, not judging, not needing to label, but merely just tuning into sounds for the sake of it and noticing who is it that is tuning into the sounds. Noticing that you are listening to sounds. So if you're noticing any feelings like impatience, restlessness, doubt, confidence, patience, calm, or unease, just acknowledging those feelings and bringing the attention back to sounds. So not needing to label sounds, and just listening to sounds for its pitch, volume, frequency. Some sounds may be pleasant or maybe unpleasant or neutral. And then just noticing that, just acknowledging that, and not needing to push away that experience to get rid of that sound, but merely to just embrace it as it is just sound, something that comes, that arises outside us. The mind wanders 100 times to something else, and bringing the mind back 100 times to just listening to sounds. Or if there's silence in the room, and then just tuning into silence, hugging silence. Or if you're noticing sleepiness, zoning out, it's very normal and natural to feel that way. So, sleepiness is like a distraction. So, we treat distraction like any experience, just acknowledging it not dwelling on it, and just bringing the mind back to sounds as best as you can. And now from sounds, we guide the attention to thoughts that may be arising in the mind. While we hold the breath in awareness, breathing in, breathing out. So like in some sense, dividing our attention as we focus on the breath, and we're noticing thoughts that are arising in the mind, coming through the mind. So imagine you are sitting in the bus stop, and each thought is like a car. So maybe a black car followed by a red car. So as we are breathing in, breathing out, noticing the cars that pass by, acknowledging that stream of thoughts, counting, checking, thinking, planning, one car after another. As best as we can, just watching thoughts as like cars, not needing to engage with them, not needing to be an actor in our thoughts, but simply to just watch them as they come and go. Some may be unwelcome thoughts, some may be intrusive, repetitive, unpleasant thoughts. Watching them, thoughts are like just mental events, photo burst of ideas. So they come, they go. And we don't have to dwell on every single thought. And if there are no particular thoughts that are coming through the mind, well, then just focusing on the breath. But if you're noticing a jumble of thoughts and feeling a bit overwhelmed, and just breathing along with those feelings. One thought, breathe out. Another thought, breathing in, breathing out, letting go. The next thought, breathing in, breathing out. So really sitting at the edge and really noticing the transition of thoughts, how it goes from one to the next. So being very conscious of how our thoughts change. And if they get too overwhelming, just very gently bringing the mind back to the breath or to a contact point in the body, like feet on the ground. That will help you feel more grounded. Sometimes thoughts can be too overwhelming. So just noticing thoughts like a stream of cars maybe a car, then a bus, and a motorbike, each representing a single thought. And we are just watching them go by, not needing to engage with them, but merely as a third party observer. Becoming aware of the being that's observing the thoughts that are passing by. Imagining thoughts are like sounds, just coming, going, having a very impersonal relationship with us. So, not needing to add to more thoughts, nor to subtract, or to discount, or to push away, or to apply positive thinking in trying to cancel out any negative thoughts. We just have to just simply let them come, let them go, like a bus or a car passing by the bus stop. And now from thoughts, we expand the awareness to the body as a whole, feeling the breath again, feeling the whole body, feeling how we're holding up our posture, noticing is our back slumped or is it sitting upright, noticing if our hands are where they were or have they moved, noticing our legs, our feet, our facial muscle, just letting go of any thoughts, letting go the need to pay attention to thoughts that keep coming back, that keep disturbing us. And just for this moment, allowing yourself to be in the present moment, to be in the here and now, instead of living in the head, lost in our thoughts. And to just feel the body, maybe feeling for temperature, feeling the touch of the clothes that we are wearing on the body. And still staying in this practice, I shall read you a poem by Rumi, the Persian poet. Be empty of worrying. Think of who created thought. Why do you stay in prison when the door is so wide open? Move outside the tangle of fear thinking and live in silence. Flow down and down into always widening rings of being. And so just keeping and widening our awareness as we head towards the end of this practice, just feeling the room temperature, or maybe feeling any gentle breeze on our skin, or maybe the air is still, then just noticing that, just embracing that experience, hugging that experience. And sending appreciation to ourselves for staying with the practice, or by just being here, and sending appreciation to everyone in this space. And when you're ready, allowing yourself to open your eyes and taking in the surrounding again.